Potter's Journal, April 2021. Slip combing, a favorite way of mine to decorate pots. And today I want to learn a new method, but this is working out so well. Why would I do something new where they pour the slip in there and then pour it out? But this does seem to be working. Why would I change? Well, I will try it on that one down there. And why would I change? When these were done the same way, this is what they look like after being glazed. And it seems to be working out so well. Okay, sometimes things like the handles, these little lug handles, can get in the way. And the little lug handles, you don't just stick them on and poke a hole in. I went back and sculpted out with a fettling knife. I showed how to do that in the last couple of videos. It gives it more fitted look, make it look like it belongs to the piece. But to decorate and just band on the wheel, the handles can get in the way. And these are all just little experiments. I'm not sure they take just as much time as a big mug, so I'm not sure about the thought behind making little experiments that take just as much work as the big ones. I should have maybe picked an easy form, a little cylinder that could make pencil holders or something that you could, if it doesn't work out there as well as you wanted, you can sell fairly cheaply. And how thick should the slip be? Well, I guess it depends on how dry the clay is. This one I did last week, and it really almost turned to the top of the pot to mush again with a thick layer of slip on there. So I'm still learning this process, unlike the combing with the rooster pie plates. And working small, when I put this on a banding wheel, I expected to just go in with my fingers like I did on the rooster. I will put up a link to where I did that as a pie. But when I went to carve through this, it's so small, it just slid all over the banding wheel. So this is very much a learning process. But there are times when, this I think will be just what I'm looking for. I can dip it in the white slip, a dark body, and then sometimes we will get some, what are they called? Happy accidents with, and that one doesn't look perfect, so maybe I will put my finger back in there. But this way, we don't have to band around the handle or worry about what we do to the banding when we put the handle on. And I can put any of my pieces in almost in a $15 shipping box flat rate. Here is where I did do it with the banding, and even started to sculpt the form too as I carved through the slip. So this is a new process for me. I found out here when doing the tulips that it's going to come out different depending on how dry the piece is. And here penciled in where we're going to do the patterns. And these plates, these were done after the pieces were completely dry. They were done, I believe, with something like this. And and today I am not showing something I'm familiar with. I'm used to although I don't claim to be a how-to, I usually am showing a technique that I've done before, so I am really all over the place on just how this should be done. Watching videos of others that do it, it's not always explained how it's done. But after dipping in the slip, I could go back and watch somebody like Fitch McAndrews, and suddenly I'm seeing things that I did not see there before. And there are times when this is going to work out just as you want, and times when it's not. And you know, I think we just took off a whole layer of this slip. Okay, so that's with it completely dry. I did find that on this one, my technique changed on the way round, and it probably would have been better if I did pencil it in, because it then would have given me an even spacing and pattern. These are semi-dry. They are partially wet yet, so I am using the back of a brush. I already did that. I like my rooster, since this is Rooster Hill Farm. I like him in, and this is not necessarily going through the slip. I like him finger combed, all that very loose and free, that with the SGRAFFITO and the scratching, it's a completely different thing. So I'm not sure this is the technique for me. Okay, I will put a link at the end here to me doing the pie plates with just my fingers. So these are just little experiments. Let's see if I can do a pattern I'm fairly familiar with. This is something you've seen me do brushwork of, the little tulip, and we'll say that's a heart. So this, I will say, must be the worst video ever. But if you look at some of the old pieces, the old SGRAFFITO pieces, they do have a look to them that's not refined, that's kind of scratchy and rough. And actually, some of the people recreating it today do it with a pattern, or with tracings onto it, and do it so clean and neat and even that I don't really care for that either. And maybe we will go back to, okay, this. So, yeah, very much about finding my way, finding what might and will work. Today we might not find anything that works. But, and what works for you and what works for somebody else can be a completely different thing that Yeah, watching Guy Wolf. Who would have ever thought to throw your slabs on the potter's wheel? Okay, so something new I'm trying. We'll keep working at it. I do think this will work on larger pots where I can work on them while they're still wet. And this was also a technique for demonstrating at fairs where you can get a discount for demonstrating on your booth fee. That the pots can be taken in with this dipped in the slip, larger pieces, and you could just spend forever carving away at it. So, a bit of stumbling out about today here, but just like this has worked for me in the past, I think with the slip, this graffito work will work for me like it has in the past. And the colors, these are more traditional for the redware, but this is the way I may be going with the stoneware. Okay, stop back. See, we can actually make something happen in the studio next week.